If a client ever says, "We're family," run. There's one phrase in this freelance game that should make you freeze. Not smile, not celebrate, not trust, but freeze. Because it means someone is about to cross your boundaries, raid your time, and rob your peace, unfortunately, while pretending they're doing you a favor. The phrase, "We're like family here. We're family. Oh, at this business, everybody's family. You're good." That's not family. That's emotional manipulation wrapped in warmth. And freelancers fall for it every single day. So let me tell you a story about a graphic designer named Rowan. Rowan wasn't new to design. He was seasoned. Clean typography, smart layouts, fast turnarounds, all that. He freelanced full-time, had his own clients, his own schedule, and his own rules. Then a local clothing boutique reached out. Trendy, nice little brand. Cool colors, aesthetic vibes, latte drinking type of clientele, you know that type. The whole package. Now the owner was super friendly. Hugs on the first meeting type of friendly. I mean, doing a little bit too much. Talks like every idea is magic. Now during the first consultation, she said, "Oh, Rowan, we love your style. And listen, once you work with us, you're like family." Now that should have been a warning shot, a red flag right in his face. But Rowan thought family means trust, warmth, mutual respect, a long-term partnership. 2 weeks in, he found out exactly what family really meant. It meant scope creep disguised as creativity. "Hey, I know the contract was for a logo, but can you also design our new tote bags? It's all the same vibe." It was not the same vibe. It meant emotional labor for free. "Can you hop on a call real quick? Something funny just happened and I want your opinion on this thing. Also, can you maybe look into a flyer?" That wasn't going to be paid, by the way. Well, he wasn't going to be paid extra for that. And it low-key meant deadline disrespect. I mean, they would talk nice, but they would disrespect his time blatantly. "Hey, Rowan, can we have those 5 designs by tonight? We forgot to plan a launch. Well, we forgot to tell you we were planning a launch." It meant discount pressure. "Come on, you're family. Give us some family love." But when payday came, they paid slow and they paid low. They paid slow and low. That's how they get out. So when Rowan finally said, "I need to charge for, a little bit of the extra work you're throwing me. I'm grateful, but, it is taking up some time and I need to, focus on other projects too," the owner's whole vibe changed. "Wow, come on. We're like family. I thought you cared about us." Oh, trying to do that friendly guilt trip. And there it was. The truth behind the smile. Rowan realized family wasn't really about connection. It was a strategy to bypass boundaries. So he had to make a hard decision. I mean, I'm not going to say everybody's in the position to do this fast, but he pulled out professionally, of course. Calmly, no drama. Just it was what it was. Then he said, "Look, I want to have he came up with a new contract with new rates, new limits." The owner didn't like it at first, but 2 months later, the boutique, they came back and paid him double. Because once Rowan stopped being their quote-unquote family, he became someone they had to respect. In business, family is often code for free work, blurred boundaries, guilt trips, emotional bait, and low pay wrapped in compliments. You don't need to be someone's family, truth be told. You need to be their equal. Contracts over closeness, respect over rapport, clarity over chemistry. Only professionals survive, not the people who get emotionally tricked. And now, here's how you avoid falling into the family trap in the first place. Be mindful of the tone that you set on day one, especially. If you walk in too friendly, too flexible, too casual, they will treat your boundaries with that same looseness that you're giving them. Be mindful of how you let them treat you at the beginning too, because their first small exception that they ask for, hey, can you just do this? Also, can you just throw this in? That becomes the blueprint for everything they expect later. You know, happened to me one time. Now, be mindful of staying extra long after meetings. This one slips up a lot of people at first, especially. When the meeting is done, get your ass up out of there. Respectfully, you don't got to be, an asshole about it, but when it's time to go, just shake hands and leave with confidence. And don't over-explain yourself when you leave. So don't linger around so that they could try to throw in, oh, and one more thing. Make a professional exit, because family hangs around and that's what they will get used to. Don't let casual conversation become free consultation. When it drifts into work, like when the conversation goes from, a barbecue steak or whatever fun stuff y'all talking about, when they start trying to low-key redirect it back to work, you redirect it back to an invoice. Now, put everything in writing if you have to. Especially the quick stuff, the small stuff, the tiny favor that they keep trying to throw in. Writing protects you. Silence, well, that surrenders you. Be friendly, but don't become too familiar. Once you enter their emotional world, they feel entitled to your professional world. And also, stop explaining your boundaries. Professionals state their rules, and families are the ones who always got to explain their boundaries. So the difference between stating your rules and explaining your boundaries, I think, is self-explanatory. Soak that in. And at the end of the day, if you don't protect your tone, your time, your vibe, your boundaries, they'll try to claim you as family and then treat you like the unpaid cousin they only call when they need something. And in the freelance jungle, the people who survive aren't the ones who get adopted into a family. It's the ones who just simply, I'm sorry to say this, I don't mean to sound rude, but they gotta demand their respect. Respectfully, of course. None of this has anything to do with being mean for no reason or trying too hard to seem like professional. You don't want to come off standoffish for no reason, but it's important that you do lay your boundaries. And with that being said, really soak this in. Feel free to practice when you're by yourself. It's going to feel a little goofy at first, but nobody's watching, nobody's judging. Even if you got to lock yourself in the bathroom and just talk to the mirror and pretend you're talking to someone. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, well, look, I'll send you the invoice and we'll talk later. Even that little gesture is kind of hard for a lot of people to do, because a lot of people feel like they're bounded by niceness, and it makes them cringe to feel quote unquote rude, but it's not. And the people who you're freelancing for, they didn't get there by being too nice. I want everybody to remember that. With that being said, take it easy, stand your ground, be cool, and I'll see you on the next one.